Hello everybody, we are back doing a series review of the Carolina Hurricanes and New Jersey Devils in the second round. A review that I'm going to say I actually got wrong for the preview. I expected New Jersey to win in 7, instead it was Carolina in 5. Who knew, even despite the injuries. But anyway, if you're new, please make sure to subscribe if you're new to me, new to hockey, whatever the case may be. I'd love to have you here along the way as I try to do this as a career. That being said, let's get on into it. So the first period ended up being just a major success for the Hurricanes, as the game was, of course, in Carolina, as the home team ends up limiting New Jersey to just one shot in the first. They actually end up taking a 2-0 lead in the first as well before they get a Jesperi Kotkaniemi goal to make it 3-0. New Jersey would get on the board also in the second. Then we saw two more scores for the Canes in this one of those being an empty netter, as they go on to win this one 5-1. Notably in this one, we did see the Devils pull Akira Schmid in this. This was something that you saw multiple times in the series, not only with him, but both teams having to pull their goalies, as the Hurricanes win in emphatic way in Game 1. Game 2, also again in Carolina, and the Kenny fan base was looking forward for something really big to happen here. No score in the first, though, as the two sides have it, just 0-0 all. Then the second period happened. This was big. Jesperi Kotkaniemi ends up scoring 2 goals within the span of about 2.5 minutes to give his team a 2-0 lead. Carolina would score 2 more goals to make it a 4-0 game. Miles Wood would go on to score a goal for New Jersey to get them on the board, but it would be Carolina that would go on again to score 2 more in the final period, as they end up winning this one 6-1, and that's another big win for them as they take a commanding 2-0 series lead. And then again, for the second time in 2 games, Akira Schmid pulled, so very concerning for the Devils, as their hero from the first round that saved them from probable elimination is not looking like he's going to be the man in net for them. Game 3 in New Jersey, as the series shifts up northeast, and this is just a massive game for both sides. Neither side looking to lose here. Carolina, if they win, are going to be able to take a 3-0 series lead, and then New Jersey, if they win, are going to get a little bit more breathing room. So this one starts off very well for the Devils. First off, I should say they end up going with Vitek Vanacek in net instead of Schmid, so that's a different change there, but it helps them in the sense that to go on in the first period, they take a 3-0 lead. Jack Hughes, Timo Meier, and then Michael McLeod scores a shorthanded goal. Second period started crazy as well, with 3 goals in the first 6 minutes, but 2 of those are for New Jersey, as they now have a 5-1 lead. The Hurricanes did get a goal off of penalty shot to make it 5-2. Wood and Hughes pile it on, though, later on to make it 7-2 before Carolina scores 2 more goals, and then it's 7-4, and it's looking like maybe, just maybe, with about 10 minutes left to go in the game, that the Devils will be able to hold on, but maybe Carolina can have a rally. Didn't matter, though, as Andre Palat ends up putting this one to rest with a power play goal, and the Devils win 8-4 to get in back to the series. It is 2-1 Carolina, but a big win here for them at home. Game 4, which is also in New Jersey, forgot to say that Carolina ended up pulling their goalie in the Game 3 against the Devils. So here in this one, we got to see whether Carolina was going to end up taking a commanding 3-1 series lead as they head home, or if the Devils were going to make this a very even series to make it 2-2 all. The first period wouldn't give us an exact idea of who was going to win, as it was 1-1 for both sides after the first. The second period proved to be the Devils' downfall, as the storm surge came, and with 5 goals for the Hurricanes on just 10 total shots in the period, the Hurricanes would go on to win this one 6-1. Not much to say here. This was pretty rough, as the Devils get spanked at home, and the Hurricanes take a 3-1 series lead. And again, this is the 4th straight game in a series we saw one team have to make a change in net, as you can probably guess who had to make the goalie change. And we are going to be headed on to Game 5 to talk about the final game of the series. Game 5, which is in Carolina. This is a do-or-die game for the Devils, and Lindy Ruff, the Devils head coach, ends up going with Schmid again in net to kind of just get some stability going and try to see if they can reignite something in between the pipes. And after one period, things look pretty promising for Schmid and his team, as they're up 1-0. Carolina did respond, though, with the Jacob Slavin goal just about a minute into the second period, so it's 1-1. And then it was Timo Meier that ended up scoring just his second goal of the series. He ended up playing 4 games, missed the first game, and his team has a 2-1 lead, so that's good. You are able to regain the lead after it was tied back up, but that was before we saw the 38-year-old Blue Line legend Brent Burns score a goal to tie this one up. It was 2-2 going into the second, no goals in the third, which means we get overtime hockey. And unfortunately for New Jersey, we saw Carolina go on the power play, and it was Jesper Fast who ended up getting a deflection off of a Kotkaniemi shot that ended up ending this series. And this was just painful because it hurts even more knowing that Timo Meier had a point in the game where he missed just a really wide open chance. Freddie Anderson, the goalie for the Hurricanes, was way out of his crease, and he just shoots it wide left, and he's down up on the crease. That was painful. So for New Jersey, for the series, this one stings as a club. You know it does. They were a group that massively were able to turn around the season compared to where it was last year. They had a hot stretch early in the year that really solidified them as a group that could be on the up and up. They had the third most points of a team this season, and they went out and made moves and were able to win the first playoff series since 2012, hoping to go on and possibly be in their first Stanley Cup final since 2012. Ultimately didn't happen, and it does stink too because you wonder if things would have gone a little differently, especially on the power play where they went 2 for 11, and the fact that Timo Meier was out for one game on top of being outscored 17-10 at 5-on-5. Things are not how you want them to be, but this is just how it is. As the Devils have the start of something that looks like it could be really good, but this is going to be a learning experience for this group as they are headed home after the second round. As for Carolina, they head to the Eastern Conference Final for the first time since 2019. I like this for so many wins, or so many reasons for this. I think that this was so big for them. One of those being that they're able to get back deep into the playoffs after failing to do so for 3 seasons in a row. The farthest they had made it was the second round. The second one is they did it while dealing with so many injuries. Pacioretty, Svechnikov, Teravainen ends up getting hurt in this series as well. Maybe it was a series prior, I think it was. But they also did it too, rotating goalies and just trying to figure out things on the fly. But this is big for Rod Brind'Amour and his guys as they are buzzing and looking, hopefully, to go on to the Stanley Cup Final for the first time since 2006. Of course, I don't need to tell you what happened in 2006, Candiac fans, but what are your thoughts on this series? Let me know down below, as the Hurricanes are the first team to wrap up the second round or their matchup, and they look to either play the Florida Panthers or Toronto Maple Leafs in the Eastern Conference Final. So, what are your thoughts for the series? Let me know down below in the comments. Also, please make sure to subscribe if you're new to my channel and all that stuff. Everybody stay safe, have a great night, and you go love hockey, alright? Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.